Several weeks ago, I was going through my email early one morning like I do, ticky-tappy, looking at stuff, delete this, answer that, you know how it goes. And I got down to this certain email and I kind of went, Like, started reading through it and I was like, I could have passed it off as like a crank email or a spam email, but there was something about it. There was something in it and I was like, there's something about this email. This is true. This is real. And so let me read to you. I'm going to keep it anonymous, but let me read to you what this woman sent to me. She wrote, "Hello, my name is M." I'm keeping that anonymous. "I don't know how you appeared in front of me, but I feel I must share my story with you. I used to work in a high-level position among the elite. I've always had a presence, a sense of acceptance, and everyone who sat with me somehow transitioned from an ordinary life to one of wealth. People often wondered how I had this ability, and truthfully, so did I. But unfortunately, I've never been able to help myself. Right now, I'm broke. I don't have a job. Every business I start succeeds for about 2 months and then crashes with a heavy loss. And today, while searching for an opportunity, you appeared to me. And I decided to translate your website into Arabic so I could understand it better. But I still don't know why you appeared to me, especially with the language difference, and I don't know where to begin. All I know is that there is one step between me and my truth, but I don't know what that step is. Can you help me? Maybe you'll never even read this email, but just writing it down has lifted a heavy weight off of me. Thank you, signed M." All right, so that's not spam. That's not somebody trolling me. Like, that is a real legitimate request, cutting through a bunch of shame, cutting through international barriers, cutting through language barriers, reaching out to me from all the way around the world. Turns out she's from Abu Dhabi. So I read this, and, at first I'm like, oh, this is a crank, oh, this is that. And then there was something, and I was like, no, this is real. And when I read through it again, shivers started running through me. Now, what you guys need to know is over the many years that I have been in business, I have had the oddest ways that people have showed up on my doorstep. At one point, I had a woman show up on my doorstep saying, "Dana, I was in downtown Durango and I got this weird urge to walk down an alley," and she was in an alley during a rainstorm, and my business card, she plucked my business card out of a muddy rain puddle, and she knew it was a sign from the universe, and she had to come see me and work with me. And so we did a session. It was fantastic. She got what she needed. I've had so many instances of like crazy weird things like that. There was this one woman from California. She woke up one morning and her computer system booted up to my website. And then she couldn't get it to go away, so she shut down her computer, and she booted it up, and the same thing happened again. This is when I was the Purple Phoenix. Like, I had a business right out of the gate. I had a business called the Purple Phoenix, and finally she called me, and she's like, "What is going on? Why can't I get your website off of my computer?" So we talked for a little while. We figured out, I tuned into spirit and did my thing, and we got her what she needed. As soon as she got what she needed, tech issue over, her computer booted up fine. It was totally back to normal. I have had weird stuff happen like that off and on through my entire career, right? So that's not weird to me. And so when this woman, M, texted me and said, "You keep coming up, you're in front of me, even though the language barrier and even though the international barrier, there you are, right in front of me," like, that spoke to me because that has happened off and on through my entire career. And I also kind of got to put a shout out to other visionary entrepreneurs, other psychics, intuitives, healers. Like, pop into the comments and share your experiences of like how people have shown up on your doorstep seemingly randomly, but spirit world guided them right to you. Like, there's crazy stories out there of stuff that happens like this, right? So I had that feeling about this. And so I decided, not only am I going to write her back, I'm going to tune into Spirit Team a little bit and see if I can give her a little bit of what she needs. And not only am I going to do that, I'm also going to crack open my translator, because she went to the added, energy and time and effort to translate my website from English into Arabic. Oh my God, such an honor, such an honor. So I'm like, the least I can do is like type out my response and then translate it into Arabic so that she doesn't have to work anymore. So I did. And this is at the time, remember that wave where I said I do soul contract work? Like, there was a lot of soul contract work energy for her that she needs to work on too. So you'll see that in here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip the camera around and show you the response, because there is an impact. There is an impact of seeing your writing in a foreign language, knowing that's being translated to someone else. I mean, I gotta tell you, ladies, there is something going on with the international spiritual frequency, right? I mean, here in the United States, we are like getting bogged down in a lot of darkness, but you can feel our Canadian brothers and sisters, and you can feel our Mexican brothers and sisters spiritually. And I've been seeing this international conversation going on. I mean, there's this one woman I follow, her name's Sylvia, out of Italy. I keep wanting to call her Sophia because she's got that, goddess Sophia energy, right? But there's this woman, Sylvia, that I'm following out of Italy, and she's cheerful and upbeat and kind and authentic without being toxic positive. And she brings all these different types of spiritual topics to the scene. And like, you have to go watch her work. Like, I'll put her up here again. Go bookmark her, go follow her. When I'm having a bad day, I literally will go over to Sylvia's page and I'll go, okay, Sylvia, fluff me up. And she does spiritually. And so there's this international spiritual frequency that it just feels like it's rising. It feels like it's buoyant. It feels like it's connecting. I mean, and this is all happening around the same time that, I went to the Mexican apothecary here in Yakima and picked up my Latinx holy water and my Latinx peace candle, right? So like, it's all kind of in the air. It's all kind of in the air. And I think whatever we can do to create that extra effort to make that connection. And like, sometimes I'll see in the comments, like people like, hey, I'm an Aussie in Australia, or New Zealand, or hey, I'm texting you from Israel, or hey, I'm up in Canada, or I'm down in Mexico, or like, we're making connections right now. I think despite and in spite of what's going on, the darkness that is coming out of the United States right now, I think we're making these international spiritual connections at this whole other level of frequency that is just so heartening to me, so uplifting. So anyway, I digress. I will come back. Let's go ahead and take a look at this message that I wrote back to M, who is in Abu Dhabi, and this is the help that I provided for her. So this is what I wrote back to her. I said, "Hi M, so wonderful that you are reaching out across language and cultural barriers." And there's the Arabic, both in symbolism as well as written in letter form. And I said, congratulations on helping so many, and it's totally understandable not being able to help yourself. I see many accountants here in the United States that have this same issue. There it is in Arabic. We're going to keep going. And the issue does not sit in the numbers. It sits in the energy and emotion of your body. Your job is to find out the energy and emotion that needs transformation. I mean, I was getting such a thrill being able to put my English into at least some form of Arabic for her. And then I said, most likely you are dealing with soul contracts, right? Soul contracts embedded in your cellular code that says, I can help the people around me to be wealthy, but I cannot do that for myself. Oh my God, right? How many of us are dealing with something like that? And then I said, you will need to begin to locate the emotion that you feel in your body that keeps recreating this, and then begin to transform and change it, literally being present with yourself in that location, saying to yourself, I am financially sovereign and wealthy, or something to that nature. I hope that helps. And to begin to get a better feeling for somatic body money works, please go to this page. I gave her a link below for free to read the text, and apologies that it is not in Arabic, and I hope you begin to learn more. Best wishes, Freudian slip, best wishes for a positive change in your financial life. Then I sent her the link right there, and that's on the front page. That's my opt-in. That's on my front page. So I sent that off to her, and I thought, okay, good, we did that. That was a feel good for the morning, right? That was a real good feel good for the morning, and I thought, probably not going to hear back from her. She texted me back. Here's what she wrote back to me. She said, Dear Dana, thank you for your reply and your advice. Your words alone gave me strength. Thank you. And she sent this across the distance from the city of tolerance, Abu Dhabi, all the way to where you are. Thank you again. I don't know what it was about that, but having that exchange with M and going through that, like me putting myself in her shoes and being in the energy space all the way around the world, on the other side of the world, in a completely different culture, and yet having similar experiences with money that we do here in the United States. Like, I can't tell you how many accountants I've met that they say to me, they're like, Dana, I have helped so many people do extremely well with their money, but when it comes to my money, I've had a terrible time with it, and I just don't get how that works. And to be able to share that with her and say, hey, you're not alone in that. That's actually a patterning, and here's some of the things that you can go ahead and do with that. And to know that reached all the way around the world, cut through cultural barriers, cut through language barriers. We were able to make a connection. Like, that made me feel so good, and it really hasn't left me. And ever since then, I've also been kind of in this wave of noticing this, like I said before, this international spiritual frequency that is on the rise, And somehow, with everything that is happening in the world, we seem to be finding one another, not only here close around with, who we are and where we're at with what we're doing, but also in completely different corners of the world. So, and I think it just goes to show, do not underestimate the impact that you can make, not only at home, but for somebody else in some other country at this time. So just a heartwarming experience I wanted to share with you. Cut through the noise, show that we're all human, make it real in some kind of way. I would love to hear from you as far as maybe some of the international experiences that you're having, no matter what country you're in and what other country you're connecting to. I think the more we can hear about this, the better. Would love to hear about this. And just a real quick shout out to Mexico and Canada again. Thank you for being with us on this really chaotic, awful ride. We know that it is not easy, and we really value the partnerships and friendships that we have both south of the border and north of the border. We honor you for who you are and what you're doing. We understand like some of the embargo kind of stuff that's going on right now, considering who is in office, but we know we will get through this, and we know that we will get through this, and we will be better, and it will make our partnerships across borders that much stronger. So that's what I've got for you today. Keep walking forward to meet those miracles along the way, even if they are in different countries. All right? And I will see you in the next video.